All right, we got some NBA totals here for Friday, October 28th. We got a whole slate here. We got 5 games on the board. We have not been doing well this week in our, the first few days of the season. We definitely could be doing better, but that'll turn around as we start getting more information and, start looking at these games even closer, and start seeing where the odds makers are setting lines and things like that. Right now, it's kind of a little bit of a crapshoot, kind of shooting a, kind of just throwing a dart at the dartboard, if you will, and just trying to see, where these teams are going to end up because there's a lot of different dynamics in some of these teams and the way the coaches are coaching. So, we're taking our best shots right now, but as the season gets going, we'll get rolling, So we're struggling right now to begin with, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and start picking it up here real soon. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at what we have on board for today. We got 5 games. Let's go ahead and we'll just break them down one by one. The first one here, we got Orlando and Detroit, 198 at Heritage Sports, and we're going to go over the total. When we look at, Orlando, I was really surprised. Vogel really allowed tempo and pushed some tempo with this Magic team. They're young, they're talented. They only scored 96 points and they shot just 38.6% from the field. I mean, really a bad shooting outing by them. I think they could shoot the ball better against Detroit. That's not that great defensively, but they did get up 88 attempts. That's kind of the tempo I like to see from them tonight. They allowed Miami, 97 attempts and 49% shooting from the field. I'll talk more about that later because I got to play on Miami as well. Detroit, their tempo wasn't that great versus Toronto, but they're much better than Orlando. So I expect for Detroit to go ahead and score quite a few more points tonight. Against Toronto, they shot 18% from distance. I don't anticipate that happening tonight. They're going to shoot better at home, and I think this game is going to be pretty fast-paced, and both teams are going to be able to score. So I'm going to go ahead and take over the total in Orlando versus Detroit. Our next game, we got Phoenix versus Oklahoma City. Really surprised Phoenix struggled so much, but that was versus Sacramento. I think Sacramento is going to be a big sleeper this year, so look out for the Kings. We have Phoenix and Oklahoma City, 209 at Pinnacle Sports, and we're going to back over the total again on this one. That seems like a really high number considering Phoenix did not have a good opening night versus Sacramento, but this is all about the tempo with Oklahoma City. Being at home, I think they're going to be able to dictate that pace. And they shot just 41.5% versus Philadelphia, but they got up 94 attempts. That's a lot. I think they're going to, Billy Donovan's going to continue to push that. Westbrook is going to push that. Also for Phoenix, Knight did not have a good night. Brandon Knight didn't have a good night. Bledsoe looked okay, but Phoenix, they should be able to score a little bit more than how they did against Sacramento. They did not shoot well, but defensively, they're also suffering quite a bit, which is only going to help OKC boost their numbers tonight. Despite the fact that Phoenix didn't have a lot of attempts, I mean, they got just 77 attempts. Gosh, that's really low for them, but they did shoot 47% from the field, so that's good. And I think if they can continue, being efficient, that's going to help get over this total. If Oklahoma City could just get the pace going, I think Phoenix will be happy to go with them as that is kind of when you think of Phoenix, that's what we think of. So I like the over the 209 in this one. I think they're going to go ahead and push some serious pace in this game. Next, we got Charlotte, Miami. We have them at just look for the best odds you can, the SBR, any SBR sportsbook. Right now, across the board, we got them at 198. And again, I'm going to go over the total. This is actually my favorite play of the day because Miami absolutely went crazy against Orlando with those 97 attempts, shooting about 49% from the field. But Charlotte in their opener, I thought they looked good. They got up 89 attempts. They shot 45% from the field. And Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, this is a good thing for them, is he scored 23 points. So Charlotte could be a little bit of a sleeper in the East. Might want to look out for them. Also, Miami, they had 6 guys in double figures, so they got some scorers. They might be a little better than I anticipated. We're just going to have to wait and see. Even the $50 million man, Tyler Johnson, scored 15 points, so off the bench. And something else about this line that really amazes me, it's 198. The last 5 times these two teams met, they didn't come close to this 198. So Oddsmaker set this total high for a reason, and I think we're going to see Charlotte and Miami really get after it tonight. So I'm going to go over the total at 198. Next, we got up Dallas and Houston over the 220 and a half. Again, another overplay for me, and we have that at Bet Online. What can you say? It's Mike D'Antoni. How do you not go over? I mean, this is going to be an absolute track meet. Dallas, they have no problem getting up and down the floor. That first game versus Indiana, they got up a ton of attempts. I expect for that to happen again tonight. I mean, Houston, my goodness, they allowed 120 points to the Lakers, and they're not going to play any defense, guys. That's just the way it is. Every game for Houston this year is going to be well over 200 as far as the totals go, until they play a really slow tempo team maybe on the road. But besides that, these games are all going to be high. Even the 220, I mean, they're going to score probably over 60 points in the first half. That's going to help get us well over 60 points in the first half. That's going to help get us over this total. I cannot see this getting under 220. I really think this is going to be an absolute track meet right from the get-go. So there's 4 overplays right there. That's a lot. But here we go. Now we're going to get our underplay in this matchup here. We got the Lakers versus the Utah Jazz, 201.5. I see that at Bookmaker. And we're going to go under that for that matchup. Now, Los Angeles, of course, they scored that 120 points versus Houston, but that's Houston. Like I just mentioned, they're going to run up tempo. They got up 89 attempts. They shot 50%. That's not going to happen tonight versus Utah. Utah versus Portland, they actually they shot the ball, decently well. I mean, they scored 104 points, but there was just 82 attempts. The key tonight is slowing the Lakers down. I think they're going to do that. Look at the game against Portland. Utah, they allowed just 2 fast break buckets. That's it, 4 points. But the Lakers against Houston, they scored like 25 fast break points. So look for Utah to do what they do best. That is slow things down, play great defense, and for this game really to go at a much, much slower pace than what we saw with the Lakers taking on Houston, of course, and even with what Utah did playing against Portland. So I'm going to go under the total on this one here of 201.5 at Bookmaker. So trying to still get a feel for this year. As we continue on, we'll still get some more information and start making some more, solid plays as we continue the season. But right now, this is what we got for today. So we got Orlando, Detroit over the 198.5, Phoenix, Oklahoma City over the 209, Charlotte, Miami over the 198. Again, Dallas and Houston over the 220.5. I know it's a lot of overs. And finally, we have Los Angeles and Utah under the 201.5. So some days are going to be a lot of unders, some days are going to be a lot of overs. We'll have to just wait and see how the slate turns out the rest of the way. And I wish you luck on your picks today.
Do your research before you bet. Check out our ratings guide to see which books have the best ratings and sign-up bonuses. Open up several accounts and shop for lines at SBRodds.com. Always be ahead of the game.